Now recording.
Now recording. Say it like my little girl's Geo Safari. Now recording. Now recording. Recording. Not show.
I see you're not in the shed today.
Nah. Downstairs today, like a human being. In the house.
There you go.
Oh man, doing it out in the shed sucks. There's no space. I got a big table today.
Oh, baby.
So how's it going, man?
That's all right. Just got off work a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ate a sandwich.
Ate a sandwich. I had a delicious sandwich today. Roast beef, some cheese, and some mustard on it on a croissant. It's like the best sandwich of all time. Freaking, we just can't stop being sick around here, man.
Oh, really?
Tanya tested positive for COVID.
Oh, dang.
And I was sick. And I took a test and it was negative for COVID. But she told me, and tell me if you had this. She said she lost, the only reason she even knew, because she doesn't feel bad at all. And I think she's over it now. But she said she lost her sense of smell, which is weird for her because she can smell like a bloodhound.
Yeah.
She said all of a sudden I couldn't smell anything. And she said it felt like when you snort like pool water up your nose. She said that's exactly what it felt like. Did you feel like that too?
You know, I did actually get that feeling, the pool water thing. I had a sense of smell the whole time and taste, but
hers is back now.
That's weird. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I did get that feeling.
When she said that, I thought, oh my God, I've got that right now. So I'm wondering if I've got it, but none of us are sick.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like if one of us has it and you're most contagious like 2 days before you even show symptoms. So no, I don't see how it's even possible that we didn't all get it.
Well, I know Martin's mom and sister both tested positive. They are having some problems. I think they're all right.
I mean, none of us are. You wouldn't even know we were sick. It's nothing.
Yeah,
we're skating through it like you did.
I felt worse after I tested negative.
Yeah, because it was
real tired all the time.
I really wanted to play a game today, which was called something like. I just wanted an excuse to look up all those awesome punk names like Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious. Yeah. And I started researching it and they don't have cool punk names. I just assumed, I don't know enough about punk, but I just assumed that everybody had cool names. Oh, nobody has cool names.
Depends on the band. That's the Dead Boys, you had like Stiv Bators and Cheetah Chrome. You had the
Cheetah Chrome?
Yeah, Cheetah Chrome.
See, I mean, that's not a cool name.
A sidebar, there's a really great underrated Italian hardcore band from the 80s called Cheetah Chrome Motherfuckers. It's really good. That's unrelated, though. You also got the Cramps. You got Lux Interior and Poison Ivy.
Yes. Yes, and I saw those. But Poison Ivy, I was like, I don't know. That's okay. But I wanted something like Vicious, Nasty.
What are some other good ones? Hang on.
Like Disgusting Rotten Soul Boy. It's just something nasty.
You got Stizza Crack. That's a good one.
That's pretty good. All the boys from Guar.
Yeah.
Let me look up those names. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
You know, I should be able to just rattle this shit off, but I can't remember.
The Guar boys are pretty good. Okay, where is it? Okay, Jaws of Death.
Yep.
Okay. Odorous Arungus, Mr. Magico, Jaws of Death, Ballsack, Hans Sphincter. That's what I'm looking for. I was looking for a bunch of crap like that, but I didn't find it. I found somebody called Filthy Animal.
Yeah, from Motorhead.
Yeah. And that was about it. Just a few. So anyway, that game went down the crapper. I figured something out. I started watching Drunk in Public. Wait. Punk and Drublic. The documentary. Yeah. I'm only like 10 minutes in so far. It starts off with Fat Mike in a dress with his legs spread wide. And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he doesn't give a shit. He's old and could not care less.
It basically,
they're putting the mic on him. He puts it on his nipple.
It basically starts off with him like, listen, I'd be doing this even if I wasn't making any money. Okay. Because I did it for 8 years and didn't make any money. I can say that because now I make a lot of money. I bet they do.
Oh, God, yeah. These guys are rich as shit. Actually, there's a book about NoFX, and my favorite part is that at the end of their period where they're not making any money, basically Fat Mike just decided that they were going to be a good band. because they were just a shitty band touring for years.
Yeah.
And they kind of scammed their way into doing a European tour because another band had dropped out. And he said he just dawned on him. He was like, "Oh, we're a terrible band. Why would anyone listen to us?"
Huh.
And so when he came back when he came back from doing the tour, he just decided he was going to start trying to write better songs.
Right.
And that was the beginning of their ascent.
Isn't that hilarious? He's like, "Oh, maybe I should write good shit." That's a good idea.
Maybe I should actually try.
I listened to a little bit of so I was listening to a podcast, and it's all about top 10 lists.
Yeah.
Dang it. I hate that I'm forgetting the name. I follow so many, like podcasts and stuff. I get all the freaking names are running together.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right. Who are these guys? All right. Playlist Wars. That's it.
Top 10 best lists.
Audio Slave, Playlist Wars. And they talk about top 10.
That's a good name.
Yeah. They talk about top 10 this and top 10. They pick songs and stuff. But anyway, somehow I just got into this, and I got into the punk rock rabbit hole, and I've just been listening to all kinds of stuff lately. I forget why I brought that up. Oh, because I listened to they had a top 10 punk covers list.
Yeah.
And they were going through all these bands and all these covers and stuff. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. I forgot all about those guys.
Oh yeah. That's all they do. Cover songs.
And, I listened to a song by Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Those guys can play. It was ridiculous. Yeah. The solo that the guy busted out in that song. So I was going down the rabbit hole listening to all these punk covers and stuff, and listening to all this music that I haven't listened. The Brian Jonestown Massacre. You remember that?
That's a band I know of, but I've never listened to them.
I have no idea why I like that band, but I do.
Yeah.
It's the most boring. It's the most boring, laid back, no hooks kind of band you can imagine. But for some reason, I've always loved it. So I was listening to them.
Yeah.
So I'm all in, man. I want to listen to some more music now. And then, like I told you a few minutes ago, I got into the diss tracks and just listening to rappers eviscerate each other. It's hilarious. Listen to Pusha T talk about everything wrong with Drake. Listen to Eminem take a complete shit all over Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Oh my God, he just
shot. It's just got that target on his head or whatever.
Oh, he slaps him in the floor, and then drops his pants and takes a crap all over him. It's so funny. It's so childish, but diss tracks are so funny. But then I bet they sell a lot of records. I mean, it's like wrestling, man. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's just fun celebrity drama.
I just want to listen.
Fun musician drama.
Yeah, I just want to listen to celebrities fight. All right. Did you hear about this Weird Al Yankovic movie?
I saw a little bit about it. I saw the headline basically that Daniel Radcliffe, I think, was playing Weird Al.
Yes.
I'll be interested to see that. That's interesting.
I would love to see him play that role. So it's a biopic. I don't even know what that word even means, but basically it's the story of Weird Al. And if you get a minute, whoever's listening to this, there's an article on entertainment, EW.com. It's about the movie. And it's worth going to read just because the article is hilarious. Because they've got quotes from Weird Al. Yeah. He's funnier in this article than he's ever been in any song he's ever written. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love Weird Al.
The best quote, I think, is this one that says, I have no doubt whatsoever that this is the role future generations will remember him for. He's talking about Daniel Radcliffe. And Daniel Radcliffe said at the end, is like, man, what a life that guy's had. But he said, guy has had. Yeah. He's like, Daniel Radcliffe was, because, Daniel Radcliffe makes all this weird stuff now. Like, plays where he's naked on stage and Guns Akimbo and just all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, I need to watch Guns Akimbo. I didn't watch the movie about the island that I can't remember the name of right now. It's almost. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of what it's called.
Guns Akimbo is pretty cool. It's like Scott Pilgrim meets what was that movie with what's his face, Jason Statham, where he has to keep his heartbeat up. Whatever that is,
I can't remember.
Jason, that's straight, and it's just like craziness, ultra violence.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's pretty good. I watched it. It must not have been too bad because I watched the whole movie, but it was pretty good. But anyway, Daniel Radcliffe was saying in this article, he's like, he's like, I love the way my career turned out because like at the very beginning, I got famous, I got all the money, and now I can just do anything I want. He doesn't have to do anything ever again.
Yeah, fair enough.
He got all that money from Harry Potter. He still gets paid. I'm assuming that everything that's got his name on it, he gets paid for. And just go to the store. Go to the store and look at all the wands and books.
Anytime it's played on TV, anything uses his image, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how those deals work, but
yeah. I assume if you're going to use his likeness, you got to pay the man. So
I mean, presumably, at least, anytime it's like aired on TV or something like that.
And even if he never got another
TV
check,
shows.
By the time they were finished, he was making like something like $10 million per movie. How much did Radcliffe get paid for Harry Potter? Let's double check. God, I don't know how they even know these things, but this has said Radcliffe has made $109 million from the movies. Oh my God. Anyway, a lot. We're talking serious money. So now he could do whatever he wants. Perfect. Freaking perfect. And how old was he when those movies started? Like 6, 7?
Oh, he was young. I bet
that's insane.
I bet he's like my age.
God.
I'm curious.
Do you imagine? Everybody's talking about, so tell us what kind of jobs you've had. Oh, well, I was a movie star. That's it.
I've been in movies. That's it.
So, he just won the lottery. Good for you, man. But I really want to see that that movie. That what's his face? Weird Al movie.
Yeah, me too.
You just can't not like Weird Al.
Yeah, he's one of my heroes. He's been there my whole life. This is slightly dark, but honestly, like I thought about it recently and I was like, when Weird Al dies, I'm probably gonna be inconsolable for a while.
Oh my God.
Even just thinking about that, like I started crying a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, well, you really were into him when you were a kid.
Yeah, and I still just every now and then I just go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. We need to go on the Weird Al podcast and talk about your love for Weird Al. But here's what sucks about all these podcasts is like when they're talking about music and like the playlist wars is the same way.
Yeah.
It was so good. As a matter of fact, all right, the first episode of the playlist wars I listened to, they were talking about Green Day.
Yeah.
And, I used to love Green Day.
Yeah.
I still love Green Day, but I used to really love them back in the day. And so I got into it and I saw their lists and I was thinking about, oh my God, why isn't this song on there? Where's she? Where's this? Where's that?
Oh,
so I decided to make my own top 10 list. That's how much I was into it. But what sucks about all these you can't play this stinking music. Especially we put our stuff up on YouTube. If I play 10 seconds of anything, we'll get busted. Copyright claimed.
Yeah, copyright rules are absolutely fucked.
This is some
you can't do
shit,
anything,
man. I want to talk about whatever, like punk rock and stuff, and I want to talk about the Sonics and then play a tune. No, and then I want to talk about, Iggy Pop and play a tune and talk about all these guys. I want to play some music so you can hear what I'm talking about, but you can't do it because of stupid YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
It's so lame.
Actually, recently my most recent song I uploaded, the Sword Soul cover, was the first song that I got a copyright claim on. I just left it up. I was like, whatever.
On your song?
Yeah. Well, it's a cover song, but it's one I recorded. And
it's your recording of a song and they got you for it.
Yeah.
I wonder how maybe the title got you. Maybe the bot.
I don't know.
Title.
It's probably just, honestly, a lot of the stuff too is like, it's really gameable. There's a guy named Ben Jordan. He's a musician. He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And he talked about the problems he had with like the first few years of using his YouTube channel. He has a huge back catalog of music, but he couldn't use any of it on his channel because there was like a third party company that would claim it and like take the money from the videos.
Right.
And it took him like years to get it figured out, I guess.
So lame. So lame. So anyway, if like any of these guys I mentioned are listening to the show, I loved your stuff. Audio Slave, Playlist Wars. These guys who just talk about music. I could absolutely do a music podcast. That would be so much fun.
We'll compile some links of bands and put them in the show notes.
It's so hard because everybody's like niche, and you're like, how niche am I supposed? I mean, I could do anything I want. I'm not saying I have to do whatever, but they're like niche. It's like, how niche do I have to be? Can I talk about 3 things? Do I talk about 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things? What can
I have no idea.
Do whatever I want. I'm gonna talk
I
about
don't
10 things.
I don't have the brain for wild success. So like, I don't know. I'm just doing whatever I want
The
to.
brain for wild success. Talk about wild success. Have you seen the trailer for this new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Did you know they were remaking it?
I didn't know that was a thing. No.
It starts. Does this start in February? I think it starts in February. It's on Peacock. What is that? NBC?
Yeah, I think that's their streaming thingy.
Yeah, that's their streaming service. They're doing 2 seasons of at least of the. It's not called the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's just called Bel-Air.
Oh, okay.
And it's serious.
Oh, I see.
When you hit the trailer, first thing you see is rated mature. And then, oh my God, the whole thing. It's like all these other shows that are real serious, like the remake of Archie and the remake of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. All this stuff is dark, cussing, people beating the shit out of each other. And it's just, you know what it is? It's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with no fun. All the fun's been sucked out.
I'll have to watch the trailer sometime.
They just took a fun.
I just don't really care for all the like remakes and stuff. I don't know.
They took a fun, cool show and they sucked out all the fun and all like the style and fun of it and just threw it in the trash. And now they've got Bel-Air. Honestly,
just looking at this front, this little clip here reminds me of there's a British show called The In-Betweeners, which is a very funny show, but they tried to make an American version of it and it was terrible. It's awful. And it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, the look of it.
I don't know why anybody would, I don't know what the point is. Why would you make that show?
I don't know. I'll watch it later though.
Banking on nostalgia, I guess, but it could not be more
right now a little bit.
Yeah. When you get a second, just watch the trailer.
I don't know. It may just be a different thing. We'll have to see when it comes out.
It's the same story. They just expand on it. Like they show you he's on the basketball court playing basketball.
Uncle Phil.
They get into some kind of fight. And then it shows Will. Will pulls a gun out of his like a duffel bag. He starts firing off shots in the air, and everybody's freaking out. And then, you know what? If they were going to go dark with it like that, they should really have gone with it. Like Will's on the street, slinging rocks on the corner. He's like he's like doing drive-bys and gunning people down. And he gets busted by the cops and they know that he's like slinging crack and shooting people and stuff, but they just can't pin it on him. Yeah. So that's how he ends up moving to Bel-Air.
Maybe what's happening.
That'd be amazing. If they're going to push it in that direction, they should push it in that direction. Turn Will into a 100% gangbanger.
He's an assassin.
Give him one of those teardrop.
Violent decapitations.
Yes. Give him one of those teardrop tattoos. Yeah. The show starts off. He's got a rival gang guy. They got him in a warehouse tied to a chair and they're trying to get some information out of him. It's like just beating his ass and burning cigarettes on him and stuff like that. and then the old school Fresh Prince of Bel-Air music starts.
Oh Lord.
I pulled up to house about 7 or 8 and I yelled to the cabby, yo, home, smell you later.
It freezes on a frame of some guy just getting shot in the head and it just plays that theme song over the top of it. You just hear that tambourine.
I'd watch the crap out of that.
Oh Lord.
And you look at the pictures of the new actors and it's like no personality at all.
Everybody is extremely hot.
Yeah. And when you watch the trailer, you're like, this is not Carlton. Carlton's a goofball. Now Carlton in this new version, he's like running the school, man. He's like a cool guy running the school. Like this is not at all what it's supposed to be. They did keep the British they didn't call him a butler. They called him something else, but they kept him.
Oh, I can't remember what his name is.
It was I almost said Alfred like Batman, but
Alfred.
I can't even remember his name. But he had the accent at least. And there's one scene in the trailer where Uncle Phil's like, why should I try to save a boy who don't even want my help? Or something like that. Or don't want to save himself. And Aunt Viv goes, because we owe it to him. And they're just so earnest and so serious and yelling at each other. It looked like total crap. Oh, God. We'll check it out. Maybe we'll do a review. We'll do a review of the first episode of
Bel-Air.
Yeah. Guess that means I got to get Peacock. I saw this little story about rave in the metaverse. Can you think of anything more hilarious? Aren't raves supposed to be cool?
Well, that's definitely not cool.
I mean, they're not. Raves are actually not cool if you've ever been. Have you been to one before? If you've ever been to a rave, they're actually not cool at all. Because, I mean, I don't know. I guess the music's kind of cool and it's dark and you're usually there at like 3 a.m, some ungodly hour. But like
in some abandoned warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, but people were wearing like this really tight, like shiny leather, and they're wearing like a what's the thing that babies take? A pacifier around their neck.
Pacifier, yeah.
They just stupid stuff like that. People with glow sticks dancing around the room, so there's nothing cool about it. But however not cool an actual rave is, going to a rave in Decentraland is like a million times less cool. I was looking at this little article about it. This one paragraph was so funny. This is such a perfect description. It said, unfortunately, the experience wasn't very participatory. You don't say. You don't say.
That is hilarious.
What would you do? Put on your VR headset and like just start dancing by yourself in the room?
I guess so. I think some people do stuff like that. I think some people do stuff like that with webcams, and they'll sync up the music. You can't
smell anything. You can't touch anything. You're just by yourself. You don't get the sensation, anything.
You're just rolling in your living room by yourself.
And you know you're in your living room by yourself. And some part of you has to feel shame for that. You're just dancing in the middle of your living room. Wife walks in like, what are you doing?
I'm at a rave, man. Come on.
You can barely hear the music coming through the speakers just a little bit. So anyway, this says, so a person who went is describing it. And they said, I was able to do a handful of emotes. My avatar could jump, could move around the space and jump.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I watched as avatars with ornate costumes covered in cartoon cannabis leaves floated past. I explored a house next to the dance floor where the music abruptly cut out the moment I exited the determined area rather than fading with distance the way that sound normally works. Beyond that, my experience at the Metaverse rave felt like a game without anything to do. Exactly.
Nice.
Imagine you playing World of Warcraft. You go to a rave in World of Warcraft.
What I actually imagine, this is real dumb, but I just imagine they set up some like abandoned warehouse they were using illegally, and the metaverse and metaverse cops come around and like arrest everybody.
They should do that. Where you have fake cops come in and bust up concerts and like people were getting thrown up against the wall and arrested,
beaten up and stuff.
They take you to the police station. They start interrogating you. That'd be awesome. Make a real rave experience out of it. Somebody ODs.
Oh,
you have to figure out what to do to save them. Like you have to call you can't call the cops. You can't call the cops. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. How much did he have?
You're trying to use the whatever the VR joysticks to like do CPR or something.
So anyway, Metaverse rave. There you go. Oh man. I'm finally eating dark chocolate again. Like I didn't have any in the house because we were oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I mean, I told you, but we were out of power for days.
No, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a snowstorm. We had like 6 inches of snow, which is kind of cool, but our power was out for 3 days. It sucked.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. That sucks.
I mean, I have a generator and it will power. You can put on the lights. You can have the internet on.
Yeah.
And the TV, and the refrigerator. So you don't lose your food, but you can't run the water because I have a well pump. Yeah. And it just doesn't have enough juice to run the well pump. So you have no water, which gets old fast. If I could run the well pump, it wouldn't really matter. I'd have everything, but
yeah. Did you just go down to the creek and get some water?
Yeah, that's it. I just went down to the creek. Actually, we have this little gross pond outside. It's in like a I almost said bucket, but it's in like a small container, like a like a man-made pond container. You're probably supposed to bury it or something, but Tanya actually ended up going down there and getting some pond water so we could flush the toilet.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, if it works.
Yeah. It worked. Sure. We finally had to go to somebody's house to take a bath.
Oh yeah. How long did you go without taking a bath?
Oh, almost the whole time. We were like, surely the power is going to come back on. Yeah. Surely. And we weren't washing any dishes. We were just using them and putting them like it'll be on soon. So we thought we'll just wait.
Yeah.
You know, we thought it'd come back on any minute so we could just live normally, let the dishes pile up. But eventually I had to wash dishes. We had to go to somebody's house to take a bath.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had the power off that long.
Terrible. That's what stinks about living out in the woods, man.
Yeah.
I was going to like do some work on my computer, but I had a surge protector in the wall. I had the TV plugged into it. And I guess the generator was throwing power surges because I had the TV on and all of a sudden you could smell like I heard something and then you could smell that burning electronic smell. You know that smell.
I bet a capacitor popped or something.
Well, we were like, what the heck was that? So finally I'm looking, and the surge protector is been trimmed. So the TV's still working, but the light's off, so it's not protected. So and you could smell the smell. So it's like the generator threw a surge and killed the surge protector. So I hooked it up to another one, and it did the same thing. So I was like, "There's no way I'm plugging my computer in the wall and have some surge destroy it." So I couldn't watch TV, and I couldn't really use the computer for like 3 days. That was part of the reason that our episode got delayed that week too. It's like I'm not plugging my computer in. And
well, I guess if you had a power inverter, you could just plug it in your car. That would have worked.
Yeah, I don't have one, but that would have worked. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that's over. But now that means I'm back to my dark chocolate. Eating my dark chocolate. Got to be 85% at least dark chocolate every day.
Dark chocolate.
It's like medicine. I got to take my medicine every day. I've got terrible news for everybody who smokes weed out there. I know you've never heard this before, but this is terrible, terrible news. Turns out, I ran into this article. It turns out that weed's bad for you. Did you know that? Son, it's bad for you. They tested like 43,000 people. They put all these studies together and did a meta-analysis, and they decided, all right, here's what weed does to you. There's a bullet list of things that are affected. It says the study found that the cannabis intoxication leads to small to moderate cognitive impairments in the following areas, including making decisions, not good, suppressing inappropriate responses, hilarious.
Yeah.
Learning through reading and listening. So you can't learn and read anymore. Okay. You can't hear anything and learn. The ability to remember what one reads or hears sucks. And the time needed to complete a mental task, which I guess means your brain just doesn't work no more. So you can't learn. You can't stop yourself from acting like an idiot, and you can't remember anything. So
come on, man, it worked for Willie Nelson Snoop.
Well, I think they say that it's really when you're like a teenager is when it does all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure it does if you're older. You just smoke all the time. You fry yourself. You know the type. People who smoke way too much weed and they're just freaking gone. They're in space all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. But more power to you.
I think you get. Yeah. But I think if you're a teenager and you smoke a lot, this is what happens.
Yeah, I guess when you're
while your brain's developing.
Gotta do like Kevin Smith, be sober until your 30s and start smoking a bunch of weed. Become a pothead.
Didn't Fat Mike do that too?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? So. Is that the story, or is that just? Totally false?
I think he just.
But they didn't do that.
He just drank until he was like in his 30s, and he started doing drugs and stuff. Basically,
that's when you get into the hard stuff. When you're
I guess 30s. So. Pretty much.
Does he have a family? Does he have kids?
He's got a kid.
He seems like the kind of guy who shouldn't have, like, maybe he should have a long-term girlfriend, but no kids.
I mean, I think he's been married a couple times. He has got a kid.
Yeah, I bet he has been married a few times.
I mean, twice, I think.
How can you be married to somebody who does that for a living? Have you ever heard of a guy named Lester Bangs?
Yeah.
Bangs? Is it Bangs or Bangs? I'd never heard of anybody who just crapped on Led Zeppelin before. But this guy from the 70s, I've ran into his review of Led Zeppelin 3, the album Led Zeppelin 3. He's just crapping all over it. It's like, wow, that's amazing. I thought people worshipped Led Zeppelin.
I mean,
even though they stole a bunch of people's music and the guitarist was like seeing some 15-year-old or something like that, like all this really suspect crap. But this whole article, the first line of the article says, I keep nursing this love-hate attitude toward Led Zeppelin.
Lester
Bangs, that's it.
Yeah, Lester Bangs is great. He does.
I want to read all of his articles. It's hilarious.
Let me double check myself. He does documentaries and stuff like that too. He did a Slint documentary that was really good.
Oh, really? He made it?
He also,
this
is a little sidebar, but he has a great story about being in a plane crash, actually. And he talks about like the plane is like, they're having to do an emergency landing and it looks fine when you're really high up. You're like, oh, the ground looks smooth and everything. It'll be all right. And then you get closer and realize, oh, there's like a bunch of trees and stuff like that. And it's like really rough. It's like, oh my God, we're going to die.
Oh my God.
I think that was on Jonah Radio, if I remember right. He was on that podcast.
Any freaking emergency when you're in an airplane would be horrific. Yeah. God, turns my stomach just thinking about it. This says,
no, wait.
I turned to each.
Never mind, my bad. Who am I thinking of then? Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
I don't know. You may have to Google it. I didn't think he made documentaries. Here, this guy wrote for Rolling Stone, and for some other.
Keep going. Sorry.
This guy was a music.
I'm getting my names mixed up.
He says, I turned to each fresh album expecting what? Certainly not the subtle echoes of the Yardbirds or authentic blues experiments or even much variety. Maybe it's just that they seem like the ultimate 70s calf of gold. And he talks about how their music doesn't challenge anyone's intelligence or sensibilities, that they rely on a pat, visceral impact that will ensure absolute stardom for many moons to come, and how their albums refine the crude public tools of a dull white blues band into something awesome in its very insensitive grossness. And that's how it goes on. And he's like, well, he admits he's basically saying that they're like a version of like tribal music on steroids, where it's so visceral that it hits and it works like that, but how they're not really doing anything interesting or special. And at the very end, he talks about how the one thing that ruins this album, just like every other Led Zeppelin album, is John Bonham.
That's interesting.
That John Bonham is terrible.
I don't think I agree with any of that. But
have you ever heard that before? That John Bonham was terrible?
And actually, well, first off, sidebar: the guy I was thinking of was Lance Bangs, not Lester Bangs. My bad.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No, I think I haven't listened to Led Zeppelin forever, but 3 is actually my favorite Led Zeppelin album. So there you go. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I want to find that line where he talks.
I feel like I'm not a super fan enough of Led Zeppelin to really get into it.
Me neither. Nah. Oh, this is great too. He says, what's so great about it though, the Zepp's special genius is that the whole effect is so utterly two-dimensional and unreal. You could play it like I did while watching a pagan priestess performing the ritual dance of Ka before the flaming sacrificial altar in Fire Maidens of Outer Space with the TV sound turned off. And believe me, the Zepp made my blood throb to those jungle rhythms even more frenziedly. I love this guy. This guy's hysterical. Turns out he was a complete, like most interesting writers, though. Turns out he was like a complete mess in his personal life, like addicted to drugs. And he ended up dying when he was like 31, 33, because he took too many, like he took 2 or 3 different drugs he had a cold or something, like he was sick and he took 2 or 3 different drugs and OD'd and ended up dying. So that's what happens when you're in the music, man, is you get on drugs and then you die.
Go too hard with them.
Yeah, man. I found this thing. We're going to talk about some Sega Genesis today. I know you like the Sega because you were the Sega guy when we were kids. I had the Super Nintendo. Yeah. You had the Sega.
Well, the Super Nintendo really has the better games, but there's a weird thing where I just like the Sega aesthetically, like the actual games. I like the look of them, and I like especially like the sound. The sound chip in the Sega Genesis is actually my favorite sound chip of any of these old consoles.
You know what's funny too is the sound chip is very different depending on which Sega you get.
Yeah, they use different versions.
The same game can sound very different if you got like a Model 1, 2, 3, whatever they're called. The sound chip is very different. I watched a video about it one time, and they were comparing the music from the same games, and it was crazy how different they were. All right, let's go through some of these songs. Let's go through some of these games. All right, they're saying these are the top 15 Sega Genesis games of all time. I like the Sega. But there was something kind of busted about it. Like
Well,
It was something kind of trashy, something kind of busted,
I think it
something
I
sort
think
of
the thing
like
with Sega, or
janky.
at least I think of for the Genesis versus the Super Nintendo. Why I think the Super Nintendo has better games generally for myself personally, just because Super Nintendo had more RPGs and stuff like that on it. The Sega was more like arcadey games. It did have some RPGs on it, like Phantasy Star and stuff, but it was a lot more like arcadey stuff.
The Sega just had a whole different vibe than the Super Nintendo.
And it's kind of interesting. When I watch like video game YouTubers, I almost exclusively like watching people who aren't American, especially Europeans, because they didn't really grow up with Nintendo, so they all grew up with like Sega. So they had like the Master System and the Genesis. They don't really remember the Nintendo very well. They have like a completely different experience of like that period. It's kind of interesting.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, the Sega just has a whole trashy street vibe. Like it feels like a dirty alleyway.
Well, for sure, like the hardware that was very like consumer. The composite video is famously kind of terrible.
Just think of that noisy. Just think of those sounds. Blank, 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 blank,
yeah, I love the Sega sound chip. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, number 15, Beyond Oasis. I never played it.
I played a little bit. It's good.
Castlevania Bloodlines. It was kind of cool.
Great game. I love that game. I've actually beaten it many times.
This is the one with Richter, right?
It's got John Morris and Eric the Card. You can play as either one.
Is this the one where you can have the guy with the spear? I don't know if it was good as the one for Super Nintendo, the Castlevania for Super Nintendo. But I think it had a lot more blood.
I like them equally. Honestly, I love Bloodlines. Yeah. I'll tell you this. I've beaten it more than the Super Nintendo one. I don't think I've ever beaten the Super Nintendo one.
Oh, really? I've beat the Super Nintendo one a bunch of times. I've never beat Bloodlines.
I've beaten Bloodlines like 5 or 6 times.
Contra Hardcore.
That's a good one. It's a hard game.
You could pick characters on this game too. I think you could be like a wolf.
Yeah, you can. You can be a robot character. I love that dude.
Again, probably fun, but not as good, I think, as the one for Super Nintendo. Do you remember that Contra game? That was awesome.
That one's great. I don't remember Hardcore as fondly, but it's a good one.
That game was the Fast and Furious of Contra games. You had these giant robots that were like it would surround you on a ladder and you'd have to shoot it while you were between its arms. And then the part where you're jumping from missile to missile.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I think Hardcore had a lot of stuff like that in there too. Sorry, go ahead. I can't remember very well.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
I've never played it.
That was the Mario, Dr. Mario of the Sega Genesis, basically. Yeah. It's fun. Echo the Dolphin. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Where you're a dolphin?
I remember playing it when I was younger. I think it was good.
What do you even do in that game?
I don't remember the story. There is a story to it. I don't remember what it is.
I just remember swimming around.
Yeah.
You could shoot it. You could use an echo and you could swim around, but I never got far in it.
Got a really laid back vibe, as I recall.
But that game is supposed to be amazing. Gunstar Heroes. Also, that's a great game.
That is a good one. It's a very good one.
That game's a lot of fun. Monster World 4. I don't know anything about it. I remember that's the old school Monster World, which is a lot of fun.
I don't think I ever finished it, but it's really, really good.
All right, here we go. Mortal Kombat 2. I know this one.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to play Mortal Kombat with those 3 buttons on the controller instead of the 6 buttons on the Super Nintendo. That sucked. Wasn't the thing? Well, with part 2, everybody got blood, but remember with the first one, you didn't get blood in the Super Nintendo version, but you did in the Sega.
Oh, yeah.
I think you could get it in the Super Nintendo version, but you had to put in a special code.
It may be. Yeah. I remember that. Then they just make it like transparent. It was like sweat, quote unquote.
Mortal Kombat. That game is so silly. Can you believe they sold that to kids?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture of the box and it says MA17. But it's like, whatever, dude. I was playing that as like a 10-year-old or something.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You're like, dude, kill it. Dude, knock him into the spikes. Rip his head off.
Awesome. Turn into a dragon.
Just people's spine. You got some little
dragon and eat somebody.
Yes. Bite somebody's head off and swallow it.
It's crazy. So,
or the one guy, the reptile would pull his mask off and shoot acid at you and melt your body. And I can't remember who would pull your spine out of your body One of the characters would do that.
I remember that, but I don't remember who did it.
One person would do an uppercut and you could knock a person's head off their body and just send it flying in the air. Mom, this game is awesome. All right, Phantasy Star 4. I beat that one.
It's a great one.
I feel like Phantasy Star is a little overrated in general, but I did beat this one.
I need to
beat the first one and the fourth one.
I need to play 2 and 3. 1 and 4 are great.
2 is terrible. 3 is okay.
Yeah.
Shining Force 2, great game. One of those games that I really like, and I started it a bunch of times, but I never beat it.
Yeah.
But it's a strategy game.
It's one of those games I need to play, but I haven't done it.
Shinobi 3, classic.
Yeah.
Excellent platform game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, classic.
True.
Streets of Rage 2. It's all these 2s at the end.
Of course. Classic.
Streets of Rage 2 has the best music.
It does have a great soundtrack. I have a hot take, a Streets of Rage hot take, though.
Oh, let's hear
I don't want to hear about it. Streets of Rage 3 has the best soundtrack. Which is
there Streets of Rage 3 for the Genesis?
There was. And it's got a very wacky soundtrack. You should give it a listen.
Wacky?
I'll send you a track.
Okay.
It's basically just like, I forget the name of the other guy's name, but it's Yuzo Koshiro and Motohiro something, I think. And they're just like going off. It's crazy. It's one of the...
Well, the Streets of Rage music is so good that there are bands who just cover Streets of Rage. I've heard them on YouTube.
And the third game soundtrack is just ridiculous. It's absurd.
Yeah. Absurd? What do you mean ridiculous?
I don't know. It's just like they're really influenced by...
Is it the same style?
You know, they were really influenced by like the dance music and stuff like that was going on in clubs. And it's going into like the harder, darker stuff. So it's like almost just like noise sometimes. It's crazy.
Huh. That's why you like it, because noise.
I mean, it's just... I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's just them truly just like, this is what we want to do with just like no regard.
I feel like I had to have played it, but I don't remember anything about the music. So, all right. Super Street Fighter 2, classic. Played a lot of Street Fighter back in the day.
True.
Love that game. This was the one that had the fake Bruce Lee guy and Cammy.
Yeah.
And the other 2 that I can't remember. Toe Jam and Earl. Did you ever play that?
It's a good one. I didn't play it back in the day, but I played it semi recently. It's a fun one. It's a good game.
Oh, they've got this as number 1.
Toe Jam and Earl?
I guess it's number 1. It's the last one on the list.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they're calling it a bizarre little masterpiece. I don't think I've ever played it. Top 15. There you go. Top 15 Genesis games. I don't know if I would add to that list. I remember playing Vector Man. That was a lot of fun.
That's a good one.
Everything, all those balls, all those spheres, everything was made out of spheres.
I can't really, my brain cannot really just like think of shit like this off the cuff. I'm trying to think of other games.
Comic Zone.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love
that game was fun as heck, and I like the style, the comic book style, but it was hard.
That game also
so hard.
Also has a great soundtrack. Oh, what's that game? Hold on. There's one really good one that should be on there, and I don't remember what it's called. Let me find it. Rocket Knight Adventures. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah, that's a good game. That game's a lot of fun. Any of the Sonic games are fun. 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Those are all fun. I would almost say those are the only fun Sonic games ever made. All the ones after that. I mean, I haven't played half of the ones after that, but they're all, I don't know. I don't like them.
I like Sonic Adventure back in the day.
You got regular human beings. You got cartoon Sonic, and you got all these regular human beings just like walking around town.
Oh, what you mean?
Hey, Sonic, what's going on, bro? Hey, can I buy some shoes?
Tell me you don't like Sonic 2006 on the Xbox 360?
I don't know. Probably
with the
not.
ridiculous the game. I think that game is so bugged out. You can like do some bug or something, do some glitch at the beginning of the game and beat it in like 10 minutes or something. I forget what it is.
Oh, really?
You have to look it up. Yeah.
I was going to look up. I thought I had it up, but I read about this crazy NFT rug pull.
Yeah.
And of course it was monkeys. It's all monkeys. With NFTs, it's all monkeys. They're all just aping each other.
Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do.
I can't remember what they were called. It was like Lazy Board Monkey Club Land, something like that.
Board Ape Planner Club.
They were going to have over 2,222 of these things or something like that. Yeah. And so it was on Solana, and all these people paid all this money for it. and then the day that the NFTs were supposed to be minted, all of a sudden they shut down everything and they're gone.
Oh, damn.
And they'd even use this company that's supposed to verify.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it verifies the identity of the people who are doing these projects. And it was verified by this company called Civic. And so everybody trusted it, but then they just ghosted, took everybody's money.
Well,
Gone.
R.I.P.
Oh my God, the stock market, son. If you don't have stock, hey, if you don't have stock, now might be a great time to buy some.
Yeah.
Because it is in the crapper right now. The stock is down. Way down. And crypto is in a hole.
Download Robinhood and buy some stuff.
Oh, Bitcoin. What was it up to at some point? 69,000. Bitcoin is now down to like 38.
Yeah, I think I saw all that stuff is crashing right now.
Woo! Solana's down to 100 about, and it was up to 250 at some point.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me, "Oh, I'm going to short everything so I can make money." Oh my God, I wish I could do stuff like that. I'm just going to wait.
Like short your stocks or something?
I don't know, short something. I don't know what he's going to short. Something. All right. That's all I got. That's all we're going to talk about today. So, listen, I want to remind everybody, follow us on Twitter at TMC Brewing.
Yeah.
Follow the show on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's Too Much Coffee on Spotify. You can find us on Podchaser. Find us on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, listen, love, comment, share, all that.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you for listening to the show today, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.